I worry that my absence after the debacle may have caused more harm than good.
Well, he shouldn't have slept with your friend.
Yep.
Luke?
Or gotten her drunk.
Both.
I love the achievement.
Yeah. Hello everyone and welcome back to 4pixels. Coco and Kimi are here with Leifile from Cacophony Games and Buttons. We are continuing the letter where Zachary and Hannah are being very cute.
And Hannah has just demanded that Zachary prove how bad he is at the twist. Or singing. I'm not sure which anymore.
Both.
But no more protests escape him, and he focuses with a slight tilt of his head. Then he starts to hum a little tune. Oh no! This is so cute! I drag him into the gardens while we go through the motions, and he gains courage the farther we are from other people.
Relatable.
Aww!
Oh no! It's so cute!
It is!
Look at those boobies! I'm sorry, they're so shiny, I can't ignore them. And we just dance. Though he stumbles at first, unsure and bashful.
Where did you even learn to dance, Zach? The 60s want their moves back, honestly.
Oh!
College of two left feet, obviously.
Oh no!
And I'll have you know the twist is still an awesome dance.
Oh, they're so cute! The dance moves, the 60s want their dance moves back. I love it.
That's so adorable.
We're happy and we're having fun. Even if Zachary fumbles with his steps and did the funniest, oddest movements that anyone can pass off as dancing. There is no need to impress anyone, however, not even each other. Date him, date him. And this is the most I've smiled and laughed in a long time. It is simple.
Leave your douchebag husband.
Exactly. Simple is nice.
Oh no.
Ba, 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 ba.
Oh god, the sympathy, anxiety. Ugh.
That's a nice art.
That is nice art. In the aftermath of Rochelle's accusations, a devastated Hannah was seen exiting the ballroom with Rebecca Gales and Zachary Steele. Hannah was left in the care of the man when Rebecca had to go back to the party in search of Ashton. Now alone, the two had a talk, and both were smiling by the end of it.
Adorable! I wish the same can be said about what I am about to do. Simple isn't the adjective I will use to describe the task at hand. Because, really, how does one tell their husband that they want to separate and say that, no, this is not a divorce?
It
With
should
a
be, though.
mediator and a lawyer.
Not yet, at least.
Ooh.
The possibility is there. But still, how am I even to explain that to Luke without him throwing a fit?
With a mediator and a lawyer. Said this already. Girl.
Cutting too deeply into my sausages, I open my mouth to excuse myself. That is, until I spy Luke mashing and stirring his poached eggs with a fork like a petulant child. He has been silent all the while, chin in his hand and elbow resting on the table. Like a petulant child. I worry that my absence after the debacle may have caused more harm than good.
Well, he shouldn't have slept with your friend.
Yep.
Luke,
Or gotten her drunk.
Both.
I love the achievement.
Yeah.
I think we need a bit of a break. You know, some time apart.
At my words, he grows still and silent. I'm not quite sure whether I should be worried or not. I take it as my cue to keep talking.
It's not permanent or anything like that. Just for a while. In a few days, perhaps. I was thinking I can move back into our penthouse in the meantime, but I won't be moving out right away, so that I can help settle everything here. And I haven't even thought of packing yet. And I'll want to ask Johans to assign some of our staff. Unless you want the penthouse anyway. Then I'll stay here instead.
Hannah, please.
No, you take the penthouse. It'll be easier for you.
It isn't supposed to be this easy, is it?
No.
Can he really react so aloof to it?
Isn't this to your liking? I imagine that you'd like the space and independence. You'll have the bed and covers to yourself, and you can have whatever you want prepared for meals. You can even have all the wine you want, though I'd rather that you don't.
This isn't about that, Hana. Well, it's partly that, but...
The man stops playing with his food, choosing instead to push the plate aside.
What's wrong, Luke?
He slumps back in his chair and just... Okay. And just stops short of putting his feet up on the table. I suspect he's wanting some wine or absinthe by now, but any sort of alcohol is suspiciously absent in his hands.
Aside from that disaster yesterday and you telling me you want a divorce, everything is peachy keen. Will you want me to start in the letters then? To start the divorce settlements and whatnot? Will you be seeking ways to throw me out onto the street
Oh,
without a
Lord.
penny to my name?
No, Luke, this isn't a divorce. I just told you this is only temporary. Are you really having a sulk because of what she said yesterday?
I am having a sulk because you believe her. You stormed out and now you're asking for us to split up? Soon enough, you'll want to throw me out like I'm a piece of trash.
You
Well,
are,
you
Do
though.
you think I would be this calm if I believed her you seal Mitchell right? Because believe me, if I did, well, it wouldn't be pretty. Besides, I know how you feel about children. It makes her whole statement laughable.
Sure, whatever you say.
His mouth draws into a thin line, and I can't bring myself to comment on his half-hearted reply.
Do not fall for it, girl. Leave.
To me, the silence that follows feels oppressive. It only emphasizes the wall that has been built up by my...
Obeisance.
obeisance and his hubris. Okay, that's a weird word. And it looms... Go ahead.
Sorry. I'm pretty sure it's the prevalence of always obeying.
Mm-hmm.
Ah.
Mm,
I learned a new thing today.
me too.
And it looms between us, keeping us apart.
When are you leaving? In a week?
It won't take that long to pack. After All Saints, perhaps?
What? Already planning on having a big soiree for all the girls you sleep with?
I'll go inform the staff of this.
He only nods. And I'll be lying if I said that didn't disappoint me.
All Saints' Day is November 1st, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Which is the last day in the timeline.
Yeah.
Huh. During breakfast, Hannah asked Luke for a break. She'd be moving back to their penthouse for a couple of days. Despite trying to remain aloof, her husband accused her of wanting a divorce. Hannah insisted she simply needed a break from him.
I expected more resistance. The man could be stubborn as a mule if he wants to be.
Because he doesn't actually care.
Yep. Perhaps I can leave now, just to spite him.
Do it, girl.
Ain't no one stopping you. But that isn't like me.
Damn it. Do it.
Even if this does end in a divorce, a thing we both surely wish to avoid, we can still leave on amicable terms.
There will never be amicable terms with that because he just wants you for the money.
There's no point in making a mountain out of a molehill.
What are you still doing here?
Wow.
Wow!
She bought the house with her money.
He should be the one living
Just
in the
leave.
penthouse, fucker.
You still have some packing to do, don't you?
What a fucking asshole.
Go ahead. I won't stop you.
I hope he fucking gets killed.
Yeah, same.
So mad. Go ahead. And do nothing. There isn't much to do, it seems, whenever I step up to the plate and try to take responsibility for something. Perhaps because everything is already being handled by someone hired specifically for that job. And with Johannes overseeing the staff and Luke handling everything else as a whole, that doesn't leave much for me.
I hope she gets to take Johannes with.
I know, right? I can't even take the job of delegation because all it takes is a word to one of the senior staff and everything will be taken care of for me. Moving in here a few days ago may have very well been the chore that took the most effort from me. And that didn't take any real effort at all.
Yes, Hannah, go buy a mansion in the middle of nowhere. Good idea. Great plan.
There are no dishes to set aside and busy myself with. Any mess left behind is now nearly non-existent. To sit on a counter while eating cake is supposed to be my next plan. Alas, there isn't even one to finish off, and I don't really know what brought me to the kitchens in the first place.
The wine cellar.
Yep.
It's not like I'm craving anything else, nor do I have any unfinished business left here. But there's a calling to this room. Speaking of calling, why not do just that? Might as well, since I've nothing else to do. At least that will require some effort on my part.
Call Marianne.
With how cut off from the rest of Luxborn the mansion is, and with how long it was abandoned before we moved in, having a landline is out of the question. The solution, supposed to be, are mobiles, though it isn't much considering how spotty the signal is in the area. It'll take a bit of maneuvering to get even a single bar as it is. It takes a bit, as I said it would. I have to park my rear on one of the cold drawers, but that suits me just fine. Another matter that needs my effort is who to call. She who must not be named is certainly off the list. That doesn't leave much in the category of close friends who attended the party, along with the category of who else is awake at this early hour. But soon enough I manage and the call goes through.
Hello, Rebecca Gales here.
Oh.
Oh.
Who's this?
Good morning, Becky.
Hannah? Oh wait, how did you get my number?
You responded to your RSVP through the phone. It's all saved in here, of course. I thought I'd like to say hi and make plans and get together sometime. Also, I'd love to hear news about your mother and father and about you, my dear. Oh, I hope I didn't wake you up.
Oh, you're good. It's sports day at school today, so I was just prepping for that.
Oh, no,
Figures that
so
you'd be a
cute.
teacher as well. I'm sure your students must absolutely adore you.
Don't know about that.
Mathematics?
History, actually. Anyway, it's real nice to know you've got my number. I was going to ask for yours because Mom wanted to keep in touch.
You could have asked, silly girl. I would have gladly given it to you.
Couldn't, though, because, well, the thing that happened. But really am sorry, though. I gotta run. School, schedule, stuff. Is there anything else you want to say? Don't want to use the mobile while driving.
Oh, of course, of course. I shouldn't keep you. But I
Oh.
wanted to thank you for your company yesterday.
Not a problem.
I was hoping you could thank Zachary on my behalf as well. He was really kind and wonderful.
Well, you can tell him that yourself if you want. I can give you his number.
Yes. Ask permission
Yes.
first. Yes. Yes. I mean, this is cool, but always ask permission first.
Oh, no, I don't want to be a bother. Intruding on his privacy.
Good, Hannah.
Pretty sure he'd be fine with it. If you two on a first-name basis and all. So, his number, right, it's...
Oh.
Aww.
No! The call starts to go static, much to my frustration. A strange clicking noise drowns out most of her words, too. I can barely understand what she's saying.
Isn't that what, Isabella had said happened when she tried to call Rose?
Yep. Cause guess what noise I hear right now, guys?
Get wrecked.
Oh no!
You guys were innocently, oh, it's just a drop cone. I'm like, ugh.
Take notes, girls.
And the line completely dies. I can feel a headache coming along. It's just building up, starting from a light throbbing on one side of my head. The static is gone, and that helps a lot. But there's still that incessant, horrible clicking. Again and again and again. Which doesn't make sense. The mobile's turned off, isn't it? And if it isn't coming from the phone, then where?
Where do you fucking think?
Looking about, I can't help but let my eyes be drawn to the hatch leading into the wine cellar once more. That's when the clicking stops, and I can hear that crying, that familiar crying from before.
Gonna wait till the scene ends in case it gives another spoiler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What happened the other day when I was told that nobody should have been down there? I tried to forget it because of how it unsettled me so. One can hardly do that when I'm looking at the very thing I'm trying to forget.
Get out of there.
Somebody is crying down there again. But if I leave it alone, it simply won't stop bothering me for the rest of the day.
Oh,
Get out of there.
They might have forgotten to lock it, with the party going on.
No, don't do it.
This again? If somebody is pulling my leg, I will not be happy.
no.
Oh boy.
True enough, all it takes is a bit of a pull to open the hatch. As I look down into the cellar, a sense of uneasiness washes over me. It isn't just the sudden onset of vertigo and nausea, but also the darkness. It's suffocating.
Get away.
And as I look down, it feels as if it's looking back at me.
Get the hell out of here, Nietzsche.
Oh, jeez. I worry that something will suddenly pull me into the deep.
Get away.
The cries drown beneath the shrieks that start echoing in my head, high and shrill like nails being dragged across the chalkboard. They're all screaming, shouting at me. And I can just feel her rage. She wants to drown me, drag me down and crush me in the very depths of darkness until there is nothing left of me. The deep abyss waits for me. For my death. They're all calling for it. This is a nightmare. Oh no.
Oh boy.
There's a rope around my neck, and I can feel the rest of me being torn apart. And they're still screaming. I'm screaming. Though it is not my voice that escapes my lips. It claws through, climbing up and forcing its way up my throat like putrid bile. I choke and gag, yet I scream and shriek all the same time. And I'm me, but not me.
Wait, is this the...
It's a QTE.
Oh, I was like...
Those are pretty forgiving QTEs.
Yeah.
Yeah. It pushes me down to my knees before I'm prone and vulnerable on my stomach. It makes me tumble, and I can just feel my whole body seizing, writhing on the floor. Everything and nothing hurts. It feels like I'm on the verge of death. And if I'm not dying, I nearly wish I actually am.
Hana? Hana, what is going on in here?
And I think we will wrap this episode up right here. Thank you guys for watching, and see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Is this a pet store or something? Maybe I can get a dumb toy from Dumb Mochi. That's nice. As I walk closer to the front doors of the building, I don't see the aisles of pet food I expected from the broad store windows. Instead, it looks like there are couches and tables in neatly arranged rows. If I could work at a cafe, I would in a heartbeat. Oh, so this is one of those pretentious restaurants with a pithy nonsense name, huh? I can feel my interest deflate and sink into my stomach. Just as I'm about to turn and continue walking, I notice the sign in the window that declares, "Now hiring, inquire within." I'm hardly dressed for a job inquiry, but I might as well give it a shot, right? I look to my right as I walk up to the window and see a little orange and white cat lying belly up, sunning itself against the window. It doesn't seem terribly sanitary to have a cat in a restaurant, but whatever, I like cats.